Hello, everybody. This is your boy DeeDeeJuan, and this is Average Joe Sports for this weekend. I believe today is the 29th, so you guys mostly will be seeing this tomorrow on the 30th. Anyway, in that case, happy Friday to you and yours. It's always a good time. We're gonna take a little bit of time. We're gonna talk some more college football again today, as we always do. We're gonna preview the UW Utah game today. We're going to play our inaugural Pac-12 counterpart from the grand old state of Utah, home of the Utes in Salt Lake City. Not tomorrow, but Saturday. And let's see here. The last time we played Utah was 1979. This is according to Seattle Times. We beat them, I want to say, 41-7. Very close game, obviously. But this is not the 1979 Utah Utes. This is definitely a team that, in my opinion, has a chance to be the dark horse of the league, at least in the Pac-12 South. And actually, I think they have a chance to actually win the division. This team knows how to play against big teams. Big crowds don't scare them. And also, they've got a lot of big uglies in their front line and also on their defense. Let's see here. They played Utah played BYU last week, and they put the hurt on them, thumped them real good, 54-10 victory. Let's see here. They are led by their quarterback Jordan Wynn. He threw for 239 yards against BYU last week. And so he definitely likes to fling it, which is going to be a problem for the Husky defensive secondary, as per usual, because we like to play that zone, and if we're not fast enough to play man, how the hell are we going to be fast enough to play zone? They're also led by their running back John White. Now, he had 22 carries for 183 yards last week versus BYU. So ultimately, this team is a very even team all around. They're going to throw the ball a little bit. They're going to run the ball a little bit, and I think that's going to be a good matchup with the Huskies because we can stop the run. We just can't seem to stop the long passes. And from last week when we played Cal, the problem was, again, like I said in many other vlogs before this, it was third and long. Third and short, third and 2, third and 3, third and 1, we can stop. We can actually stop people on third and short. But for some reason, if it's third and 10 and beyond, we cannot find it in ourselves to stop these teams from getting, if it's third and 15, they'll get 16 yards. If it's third and, 27, they'll get 28 yards. If we don't stop that as a defense, it's going to be hard for Keith Price and his offense to put points on the board. They can only do so much. They need help from the defense for great field position, and they're not giving that to them. And it's unfortunate. And I really don't want to have to spend the rest of my vlogs for the college football season talking about Nick Holt's defense. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Nick Holt, and I like the defense that I saw last season and against Nebraska in the Holiday Bowl. I just don't see that this year. And if we don't have that, again, very, very long Pac-12 season. All in all, this game is going to be a huge toss-up. Because, again, it's a team that we don't see very often. And this will be the first year that we're going to see them on a regular basis. And two, again, Utah is one of those teams that they want to prove that they can win in this conference now, not later. They're not going to be sitting here waiting, 10, 15 years so they can have their time in the sun. So that's something that we also need to be worried about. I mean, this is a new team. We are part of, the old Pac-10 versus new Pac-12, in my opinion. And we, as the old guard, need to come in here and prove that this is still our conference, not yours. But welcome to the Pac-12 in general. So that needs to happen. Go Dogs on that. I'm a little scared. I want to say we're going to win, but it won't surprise me if we do, in fact, lose this game in Salt Lake City. So that's, again, go Dogs, but we'll see what happens. On to the NFL. Going to preview the Raiders-New England Patriots game. I've got personal issues with the New England Patriots. I don't care what any Patriot fan says. Tom Brady did, in fact, fumble that ball in that AFC title game in the snow. You got lucky, plain and simple, but that's just me. However, I do respect Tom Brady and his skills. That being said, Tom Brady's going to be on the warpath this week against Oakland. I mean, he came off of a 4-interception day against Buffalo last week, and Buffalo seems to be the heart attack kids of the league. They love second-half comebacks, and they did because they did it to us. They did it to the Raiders the week before that, and they came back. We were up 21-0, and we wound up losing by a touchdown. And it was a heartbreaker of a loss, I'm not going to lie. But look for Tom Brady to come out ready, firing with Wes Welker and Gutowski. Just look for him to actually try and light us up this weekend. So Oakland defense, man, you guys got to step up. Hit him hard. Hit him hard. Hit him often. Make him uncomfortable. And we can come out with this win, plain and simple. I'm seeing great, great things from the Oakland Raiders. I know I had my doubts at the beginning of the season. I wasn't sure exactly what Al Davis was thinking and what our new coach was thinking, but it seems like the team as a whole has their heads in the right place. And I like that, and I want to see that continuing, that commitment to excellence. And we are focusing on just that, the commitment to excellence. When we focus on that commitment to excellence, we get wins. And that's exactly what I want to see from this team. This Raiders team has a chance to maybe make the playoffs because Kansas City's not looking all that strong. Denver's looking awful. And San Diego, well, again, that's always a toss-up game between the two teams. But I think if we can at least get one on San Diego this season, this division is ours for the taking, and we can finally make an appearance in the playoffs. So I'm really, really excited about that. Speaking of the Raiders, Darren McFadden had a really, really great week last week. He had 19 carries, 171 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The man was he was beastly. He was just running through people, running over and through people, and that makes me extremely excited. And Jason Campbell, he has his times where he's not exactly looking all that great. He had a fairly average week last week, 156 yards, and a touchdown. He threw an INT against the Jets last week, and luckily, again, that didn't cost us as a team. We pulled out the victory against the vaunted Jets. Again, I don't remember the last time we actually beat them, but we definitely did do it. So, all in all, I'm very excited about this particular game because I think that we're going to not necessarily run over New England, but I definitely think we have a huge chance to take this as a victory and make Tom Brady look bad because I don't like him as a quarterback. I respect his skill. I just don't like him as a quarterback. He gets too many calls. He's the golden child, and Colin Cowherd loves him too. But he's got a man crush on him. So that's just the way it is. I'm looking for Oakland to win, close, but I'm looking for them to win. On to Seattle versus Atlanta. By the way, let me add that let's welcome Seattle to the win column. We all love that. Welcome to the win column. You won ugly, but you still won. Sidney Rice came back from his injury. Actually came back in a big way. 109 yards on 8 109 yards on 8 receptions. So that's always good. And Tavares Jackson, I guess it's kind of a say what you want. He is a starter. He's moving the offense. He only threw 1 interception. He actually rushed for a touchdown last week. So that's always a good thing. And I really don't know what Seattle is going to bring, over the course of the season. Again, the NFC West is a very weak conference. I think 8-8 could possibly win the conference. I hope no one goes 7-9 because if that's going to happen, everybody's going to get moved around your conference and it's not going to be the same conference like it used to be. So rooting for 8-8. First team to get to 8 wins is probably going to take the playoffs in that. They're playing Atlanta this week, and I don't actually have any stats for Atlanta. I forgot to do that. My apologies. But they are a very, very strong team. They like to hit. They move fast, and I think that's going to be a huge problem for the offensive line of the Seahawks. So I guess ultimately the key to this game is, can Tavares Jackson stay on his feet and not spend a lot of time on his back? And again, that comes down to the offensive line. So it should be an interesting game. I'm going to try and catch that over the course of the day on Sunday. And, yeah, go Seahawks. I'm trying to be hopeful, but I think this is going to be a loss. And if I'm wrong, hey, so be it. I do like to be proven wrong. I say negatives with the ultimate reasoning of being proven wrong. So that being that, that's NFL talk. On to Major League Baseball. I don't really talk about baseball a lot because that's not really my sport. However, it is time for the playoffs. So I guess I'll start this thing with saying, hey, Boston, shipping off to Boston. No, you're not. You're going to ship your butts at home and watch the playoffs from the couch and watch your hated New York Yankees take on Detroit in Game 1. Starters for that are going to be CC Sabathia and Justin Verlander. That's going to be a pitcher's duel. I can see that being very, very close. My rule of thumb when it comes to the Yankees in the playoffs, I don't care who it is. I want to root for any team that can beat the Yankees. So I'm going to actually say from a series standpoint, I'm going to go for Detroit to win this particular series. So we'll definitely see what happens. It's going to be, they've got stocked pitchers throughout their whole rotation. So that's going to be, especially this first one. This Game 1 could be actually the most important game. I mean, it's cliche to say that, but it's true. We got Texas playing Tampa Bay in the other matchup. We've got Shields versus Wilson. I'm going to actually root for Texas to beat Tampa Bay in this one. They've got great hitting. They've got a decent bullpen, and there's some former Mariners on there too, which always makes me cry a little bit because we can't seem to get over the hump. However, we didn't lose 100 games this season, so I'm happy about that. We only lost 95, so I can't complain too much. In the NL, we got Philadelphia versus St. Louis. Game 1, we got Garcia versus Roy Halladay. You know what? I'm not going to say that it's a complete wash, but I'm going to pick Philadelphia to win that series. And then we got Arizona versus Milwaukee. For those of you guys who like Wayne's World, I don't really know who's going to win this one. I'm going to root for the Brew Crew again because I got some fantasy people that play on there. Kennedy and Colorado are the two starting pitchers for Game 1 in that. Again, it should be a very interesting playoffs, and New York better win because apparently if New York doesn't win or go to the World Series, people don't want to watch it, which I think is absolute trash. If you love baseball, you love the World Series no matter who's playing. I actually prefer watching the World Series when neither New York or Boston's in it. Yeah, I'm a hater. And, you guys got championships. My team doesn't. I understand that. But, hey, it's not New York. New York, the Yankees are not the epitome of baseball. There are other teams out there who are just as good, if not better. So, yep, that's the Average Joe Sports for this weekend. Hope you guys have a great weekend again. Give me some comments. Subscribe below. That'll be great. And talk to you guys later. Peace out.